on both YouTube and TikTok. There we go. I am Carol with CarolJo's. It is an online jewelry and accessory business for women. We do more than just promote the jewelry here. We actually have a community where we do chat times twice a week. We had one earlier today, and we will have another one on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Central. We have 2 tutorials a week. One is going to happen tonight. I'll show you what that one is in a moment. And the other one will happen at 12 Central on Friday. And then we have sales throughout the week. Tomorrow we have 2 sales. One at 2, it's a basket sale. The basket sale is where I bring items in that were once up for grabs and people claimed them but did not pay their invoice, so they are back up for you to be able to purchase. Then tomorrow night we're going to have a bead sale. Hi Lulu, how are you doing? And that is where you can purchase beads and findings and all kinds of things to make jewelry with. Then Wednesday during the day at 2 o'clock, we're going to have Bring Back, which is where I bring back items that we've previously had up for sale that didn't sell out. I will be looking for sure, because it was a request for 3 and 4 millimeter size beads. So we'll have that at 2 o'clock on Wednesday, along with some other items. Like Wednesday night, like I said, we're going to have a chat time. Thursday during the day, I'm not having a live, but Thursday night we will have silicone beads. That will be, I'm going to bring a few of the acrylic beads that we've gotten in. We will have some of the new silicone colors coming back or coming in, and whatever else I can find. I still have some more focals, everybody. Friday at noon, we're going to have our other tutorial, which is the now I got to think of the second word, Simply Calm bracelet stack. So that will be what we're doing on Friday. We will not have our Friday night live. I'm taking Friday night off, and we will be live at 10 a.m. Saturday for our bead sale. Bead sales are only on TikTok, but I do my chats and my tutorials on both TikTok and on YouTube. Hello, Transformers. Hi, Geraldine. Hi, Shy. So what we're going to be doing tonight for our tutorial, I made a second one, and we're going to do a third one with a different size bead. So I want to show you guys. This is the first one that we made. It is like an animal face with the little ears here. And this one is using 15 millimeter size beads with 15 millimeter size ears. All the beads in there. This is, yep. We're going to make it because we like to teach. Here is the second one I made. This one, we have the print beads here throughout, along with some solids. And then what I did for the ears is that we did 15 millimeters on the bottom and abacuses there on the top throughout here. So we've got that. So what I'm going to do tonight, all right, what we're going to do tonight is that, yep, they're animal faces. Whatever animal you want it to be is what you can do. Depending on the colors. Hi, Mirta. Depending on the colors that you pick can make it different animals. So that's why you just think about different prints and that type of thing. It is a keychain. We've got the key here. I do not have the extra long or the 25 millimeter key ring. You can put it on there if you like, but this is how I'm envisioning it. And then you just can put this on your purse. You can make this, instead of it being a key ring, it could be a purse bag bling, you know, where you have that on your bag. It is whatever you want to do. Okay. So tonight we're going to do this, and instead of having the abacuses here, we're going to use 12 millimeter size round beads. So you can change out the different beads here and create different things. So that's what I want you to think about, is what you would do and how to do it. As you can see here, we only needed 5 of the 15 millimeter. And I kept this the same, the circle, the same number of beads. There are 14 beads, I think, or 15, let me think. 3, 6, 9, 12, 14. This one might be 15. Hold on. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Yep, I did 15 on this one. So they're not the exact same. But the thing is that depending on how round it is, depends on how big you want your ears. So think about that too as you're creating. And that's one of the things that I did while I was creating these, is that you had to sit there and play around. Kind of goes back to our quote for this week. The quote is about being creative means you can get things going, but art is knowing what to keep. So it goes back to knowing what you can keep. Hello, WTF. So if you are new here and you like what you're seeing, if you are on TikTok, please follow me. If you are on YouTube, please subscribe. I am just trying to get to certain numbers. It's in a slow, steady pattern, because we're looking for people that want to join our community, that love the whole entire premise of making jewelry. So that's what we're here for today. All right. So what you're going to need for tools, you're going to need 2 different loop turners. You can do, I have the 10.5-inch loop turners. You can do 2 10.5 or 10. I'm sorry, these are both 10s. You can do the 7.5. You can do whatever which one, but you're just going to need 2. You will need some cord, nylon cord. You can use either the 1.5 or the 2.0 millimeter. And that is what we've got there. And then I will highly suggest for this one to do the knot grippers and to have a pair of pliers to help you pull to keep everything tight. Callie girl, I just read the comment. I love it. Thanks for making me laugh. I did do it without and I did it with. And let me tell you, it looks so much better with the knot grippers and the pliers to keep everything tight. Okay. You're going to need a pair of scissors to cut the cord. And I've got a ruler here to measure the cord. And I also have a bead mat down on the table to keep my beads from moving around. Now for supplies, I am going to use a lobster claw clasp that has a swivel on it. I have 2 different kinds of 12 millimeters. I'll show those, or 15 millimeters. I'm going to use some orange 12 millimeters. We are going to use the color Beach Ball Groove for our print. And for our solid, I am using Blue Glacier. And these 2 are 15 millimeters. This one is 12. So that is what you're going to need for the beads. All right. Now I'm going to point you, oh, and we're going to need a little lighter of some sort. I got the butane torch one. You can use a regular lighter. I just got the torch and I like it. All right, I'm going to point you guys down. Just so you know, when you are pointed down, I do not have a backup that I can see of YouTube, so I'm not going to be able to see your comments when it's down. Yes, that is Lulu. Yes, it is. And when TikTok, I will have my backup. If I'm looking at it, I will see your comments. Okay, here we go. You guys will be down on the table. All right. So first things we're going to do is that I need about 36 inches of our cord. So I'm going to measure that out. Doesn't have to be exact, but somewhere around there. All right. So that's our cord. Next, we're going to put our beads that we're going to be using for this circle on our loop turner. We're going to, on one loop turner, put half of the beads, and on the other loop turner, we're going to put the other half. So we got to decide our pattern. And you can use more than just 2 colors for this if you want. I'm just happened to grab these and thought it will be cute. So I could have brought in a green or something too, but I chose not to. So I'm going to put on this one, I'm going to put the 2 blue, 1 of the print, 2 blue, 1 of the print, and then I'm going to put 1 blue. Now, when you're going to put them in order of what will come off first, and I did this backwards. Okay, I did it backwards. You got to do it by, this is going to be the top where this is at. I keep doing it backwards every time. There we go. Every time I've done this today and made these examples multiple times, I've done this backwards. You got to think about, this is the top and this is the bottom. And I keep thinking this is the bottom. And that is where I keep messing up. All right, we have 2, 4, 6, 7 on this one, and this is at the top. Got to remember, this is our top. So what I want to do and explain here is that this is the top, and this is where we're going. This is, so if I look at these, this goes right here, and I'm going all the way down to the bottom. And if you noticed, I am making a pattern where I have 2 blues and 1 print. I am going to have the key ring, this swivel, right here in the middle. So on the bottom, I'm going to have 1. And then I'm going to put our print. And then I'm going to do 2 and the print. And we have 5 beads. I want 8. I'm going to do a total of 15 on here. There we go. The reason being is that if I put these 2 together this way, this is how it's going to be all the way across. But these are going to be at the bottom, are going to come off first, and the top at the will be coming off last. That has been the hardest thing for me to grasp as I've made this. When I'm doing a pattern, I'm going to go ahead and I put, let me show you. A loop turner has a hook on there. So we're going to put our cord in that little hook part and close up that latch. Turn these upside down. You're going to push these beads on by putting your finger or putting it on the outside of the beads. Don't put your fingers like this because you could potentially jam it with that little, the hook part or even the latch part. And then you're going to pull those on, put them down, take your swivel closure, put that on, and then we're going to grab this side. Got to think about this for a minute. Nope. We got to be this way. Dang, I did this one backwards because that's got to be 1 because he's coming off. Ah. Okay, I'm just going to take this one off. We'll fix it here in a second. This is where I keep messing it up, is to thinking about how they're going on. Now this one's going on this side. I'm going to put this one last one back on at the end. Just be careful and watch your pattern when you're putting it on, because I have done this backwards so many times, and I'm usually not this hard about the pattern. There we go. So this is my top where I have my keychain right there. This is the bottom. I want these 2 pieces to be about even. Yes, we have 15 beads, so it might not always look even, but I want it to be even as much as possible on that cord. Now we're going to tie a knot and bring these close together, and we're going to tie it like that. Do you see how it's all together here? Okay, we're going to tie another knot. We're not going to tie it really tight yet. What we're going to do is we're going to put a knot at the end here. a knot on this end. Use our knot grippers. Just wind that around and pull this really, really tight, and you will feel it slip when it is there. And we've got that in there. Take your knot grippers off. You won't be using these on this one again. You're going to cut off the end. And we're going to put this one up this way. If you notice, each one naturally, without me touching it, one goes this way and one will go this way. So we're going to have this one go this way. The one that I cut the end off of is this one. So we're going to use that one up this way. So we are going to take our loop turner. You can do all of them at once or just part of them. I found it was easier for me to do part of them. Go through 3 of the beads, put that on there, close it up, and then pull those 3 beads through. Okay. We want to not go up to our clasp here. We want to be 1 bead away from it. So I want to come in between these 2. So I'm going to put my loop turner through my beads again, the 3 beads, grab our end, put it in there, and pull this way. There we go. Use the pliers, pull it, because that's going to hide our knot in there if we pull it in there, okay? It just makes it, do you see the difference in the circle when we pull it tight versus not tight? This will get firmed up when we go to do this side, but that's why you want these tight. Now, we are going to take our 12 millimeter size beads, and this color is Sunset Glow, and we're going to take one of the Blue Glacier, or 2 of the Blue Glaciers. So it's going to be a 15. I'm going to put, and I'm not sure how many I want on here because I've not made a 12. We're doing what I've been doing all day today. I'm just playing around. So there we got 15 millimeter Blue Glaciers, 1 on each end, and 5 of the Sunset Glow in the middle. We are going to put all 7 of those beads on our string. Bring it around. Before we put it on there, ooh, I like that. That's making our ear. Now, we're going to leave a bead in between. I'm going to turn it this way so we can see green instead of that, so it'll show us. And we're going to come back through and bring this way. So to do that, I take my loop turner on this end, bring it through, and pull it in. And then pull this tight. Now remember I said grab these tools to pull it tight. Grab your pliers and pull it tight so that you're not seeing any of the white cord in between. Then we're going to take our finger. We're going to create a loop using our finger. Do you see how I created a loop there? I'm bringing this part underneath there, putting it through, and then I'm going to pull this tight, and I am going to use my pliers to pull it tight. So now that's all tied in there. But now you see, you can kind of see our knot in there. To get our knot hidden, take your loop turner and go back 2 beads. Put that cord in the loop turner again. Close it up. And then bring it through 2 of the beads here. You can use your pliers to pull that tight and that hid your knot in there. So we've got half of the ear, one ear done on the first half. Almost. We got to cut this tail off. Just use your scissors and get in there really close and cut that off. There we go. There we go. I had a little fuzzy extra that I didn't need. So I cut that off. Now I'm going to take the butane or the lighter, if you're using a lighter, and singe that down. And that will just hide right in there. Sometimes if it gets a little bit big, you might have to use your pliers and get that in there. But we had it small enough that I didn't need to do that. So that is how you make the first ear. Now we're going to start on our second ear. We're going to once again go through about 3 or 4 beads with our loop turner going towards our cord. I got to cut this knot off of this one. Hold on. There we go. Got that knot cut off. Close up our loop turner after you get your nylon cord on it and pull it through the beads that you went through towards the top. Pull it tight as you can. If you can get through the next 4, there we go, we got it. And then pull this through. Oh, you're okay, Rainbow. As always, you can watch the replay on YouTube also. And there we go. Did you see how that tightened up that circle? Because we pulled this really tight. We're going to use our loop turner to create our ear. So we're going to do the blue. And if you wanted these to be all orange beads, you sure could. You would just need to get the 15mm Sunset Glow also, or whatever color you're using. They don't have to be the blue on the bottom. It's whatever colors you want to make it. Put those 7 beads on the cord, pull it through, get those, and then we're going to take our loop turner. The bead after the print one, we're going to go back through because we're going to make it around that print one. Bring this up, close it up, and whoops, I let it go. We'll put that back on. There we go. Close it up. Pull that through. Use the pliers to pull it all the way through if you need to. And then use the pliers here. Make it tight. There we go. We got it tight. Now make a loop with your finger. Go underneath. Bring that loop through the hole, or bring your end through the loop here. Grab your pliers and pull this really tight. See, we got it there, but you see, we can still see our knot a little bit. We're going to go back to, put our loop turner through those 2. Grab our end of our cord and put it in there. Pull that through. There we go. We just got to take off this end. We're going to use our scissors to cut that off. And then we're going to use the torch. And you want to be careful when you're using any type of, whoop, it went in there already. There we go. It went in. I didn't have to make it smaller to go in. And there is, I'm going to bring this up, everybody. Whoop, sorry. You guys got hooked on each other. There we go. And there is with 12mm. So this would be the exact same size. This one's using 12mm here, where these are using the 14x8mm abacus. I can't get the abacus so tight that you can't see that white in between, but I can with the 12 and I can with the 15s. And it's also the size, the shape of the beads makes a difference too. I tried this with lentils. Lentils did not work in any way, shape, or form for me. If someone else can get the ears to form with lentils, let me know how you did it. But that's how I did those. Does that make sense, everybody? And I will do another one that I will end up using the 15 millimeters because I do have one over at my desk to be able to do that with another color. So I'm going to shut these up here, and they're going to be all solids. Yep. You can make it a mouse. You can do whatever shape or whatever animal you think that they're going to be, but it's like an animal face with ears is the way to think about it. Okay, so hold on. Let me grab the other one here. And this one, I grabbed the colors black. Thank you, Stacy. Are you so excited to have a phone back? I was wondering why I hadn't seen you, and that makes sense now. We've got Cherry Bomb is the color for the red. I'm going to grab a couple of those there. And then we also have yellow, which is the canary yellow. So we have those colors tonight. Oh, I just tried running over my foot with my chair. I've never done that before with this one. Holy, that did not feel good. With this one, because of using black, I'm going to grab the black cord. I didn't grab that earlier, so hold on. Let me grab the black cord. All right. Got black cord. Oh, okay. Oh, that stinks. Hey, man, or it's not Mandy. That's your mom. I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm out of Dr. Pepper now. It's Emily. All right, here we go. We're going to make this one. You're going to cut 36 inches off of the cord. We're going to use the black cord this time because we got black beads. There we go. Hi, Beads. How have you been? Now we got to decide our pattern. And this one, I don't know what I want to do for a pattern. You guys want to help me figure out the pattern for this one? We got black, red, and I got to point you down. Wow. Okay, you have a good night. I'm just going to open up my bags and then I'm going to point you guys down. All right, here we go. Got to do the yellow. All right. Do we want to just do black, yellow, or that way? Can you guys see that? Okay. So, okay, there's 3, 6, 7. I'm going to need yellow, red, black, yellow, red, black, yellow, red. There we go. I think I got it right this time, everybody. I think that's right. We're going to see. So once again, 36 inches of black cord. Oh, this is the first one. Doesn't matter. Okay, black. Okay, we are going to take it off, pull those down. I gotta find, where did I put, there it is, our swivel lobster clasp. Put that on. Then we're going to take the rest of it here. All right, that is the colors. I think I like that. Okay, now we're gonna get this even. So we're gonna line these up and move these beads down a little bit so that they're about even. There we go. Okay, and now we're gonna tie our knot. First knot is going to be here, and we're gonna make it tight, but not totally tight yet, because we're gonna do a second knot. Before we bring the second knot really, really tight, hi Maria, do a knot on each end. How I do this knot is I do a loop, and I take my tail and put it through the center of that loop twice. And then that's how I create the loop. Get my knot grippers out and put them on each side. I just put the knot on one side and then roll it around. And then I grab a hold and I pull really hard with the knot grippers. There we go. And heat is still showing, so what we're gonna do is take off our knot grippers. And what I mean by the knot is still showing in there. See, it's not so tight that it went in a hole. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut off one of the ends and cut off the other end, so we don't forget to do it before we do it. Okay. We are going to take our loop turner, go through 3 or 4 beads, find the one that naturally goes this way, and that is this one. Grab it, close up our loop turner, and pull this through. Oh, he got stuck on the end. There we go. And then pull this through. Use your pliers to grab the end or grab somewhere on there and pull. And now, if you notice, it's gone. Our knot went inside that yellow bead. Now we're going to go through 4 beads. Sometimes to get into them, you just have to move them down so that you can get, there we go, the bead in front of it down a little bit. Kind of like when you cut it. And then pull hard. Hi, Melissa. There we go. And pull this, and then sometimes you will need to use your pliers to pull it tight. Like we did before, we want to come up 1 bead to each side of the clasp. So I want to leave 1 here. And that's where I want to come up at, and then I'm going to make my ear here. So we got to decide the pattern for our ear. I have an idea in my head. We did 5 here, so we can do 5. So I was thinking black, red, and then yellow at the top. Go out. There we go. So it would be black, red, yellow, red, black for our pattern. Put those on the loop turner. Close that up and pull it through. Let me see. We're going to come out on the other side of this yellow is where we're going to be. So you want to bead in between to give you that space to create the ear. What do you guys think? Do we like it with it, or do I want to make it solid? You guys let me know. All right. Maria says good. All right, then we'll leave it like that. Then what you do is that we are going to go to the black bead and go up towards the yellow with our loop turner. And to get into that hole, because it's really tight, I move my red one down a little bit and then go through here. Whoops, I am stubbing the red. There we go. Put that through. He needs to go on the loop turner. There we go. And then we got it through. And then our loop turner skewered our nylon cord. There we go. And that's why you put the loop turner on the end, is because it will skewer and fray. So we want that fraying at the end. And we pulled that tight with our pliers. Now we're going to create our loop. We're going to grab our pliers and pull that in there. You can see the knot there, and we want to hide it. So what we're going to do is go back 2 beads, which would be the yellow and the red. So we're going to go through the yellow, through the red, come up. Why are you not coming up? Ugh, you got stuck in here. There we go. Whew, I had to reposition him. There we go. And then, because you have to remember, we are now 3 pieces of nylon through this. So as you get towards the end, like this one, yep, just no white, and then pull that tight, and that hid our knot. So these 3 beads have nylon cord through them 3 times. So that's going to help hold it in place. But it makes it very difficult because this is the 2mm cord. The white cord that I used was the 1.5. So just to let you know, the thicker the cord, there we go. It will be a little bit more difficult to pull everything through at the end, but you can do it. And I purposely did use each so that you could see the difference on making it with both. And then we want to hide that. There we go. We hid our end there. You can't see it. Now we need to finish this end. So we're going to go back 3 or 4 beads with our loop turner again and bring this cord up to the top. Okay, now we're going to go through these 3 because we want to leave this black one without going through it a second time. There, bring this up. Pull this through. Pull that tight. Okay. Now on our loop turner, we're once again going to make the ear with black, red, yellow, red, black. Put that through this way. Now, this time, because of the pattern, our red bead is going to be the bead that we're going to skip. So I'm going to come through the yellow bead back towards the red to be able to pull that through. Come on, just stay. There we go. All right. And then we're going to pull it tight. There we go. Yep. And then push this around and go through that loop. Grab our pliers, pull this tight. He's almost in there, but we got to get him all the way in there. So we're going to go back 2 beads. So we're going to go back through a red and a black, and then bring this through this way. Okay, got it. It gets stiffer. There we go. Open this up here so we can cut off our tail. It's like stiff here. There we go. Whew. And then just go in with the torch. I don't want to burn myself on this one. And burn that down. He's a little bit bigger. Let's try hiding him. There we go. We got him hid now. Get him back into the circle. And there we have it. I'm going to bring it up. So hold on, Rainbow. It depends on what you want. These with 15 millimeter, I have 5 each. So both of the 15s are 5. These, we have 2 of the 15 and 5 abacus. This one, we have 2 15 and 5 12s. The round, these 3, I think 15 works better. All these 3 each have 15. This one has 14. I like the 15 better. You can play around and try doing different numbers. I tried to make this, I originally thought I was going to do them as a wristlet and decided I didn't like it as a wristlet, but I liked them as keychains. And then you can put this on a purse if you want with this type of closure and just have it dangle on your purse and decorate your purse. You can use it for your keychains if you wanted to add a 25 millimeter split ring here to add keys to it. You sure can. You can do whatever you want with it, but that's what I wanted to show you. And it helps to have this right here in the center. If you would, when you do a wristlet, oh yeah, backpacks for the kiddos. I love that idea, Cheyenne. If you use the split ring like we do on a wristlet, because so here on wristlets, you know how we do the split ring and use that to go around? It makes it a little bit more difficult because you want it to be in between the 2 ears and not running around type scenario. Because you want it to, like, if you're going to put this on a, like on the backpack or on your bag bling, any type of bag bling, you're going to want it here. And that's why when you have it on here, it will run around when you go to do it. So I like the idea of just using that little part right here on the swivel as where you're going to put that there. And that just keeps it held for you and doesn't run around on you. But you can do either or. It's really truly up to you as to which way you want to go. So that is what I was going to show you today. And you can do it with print beads, solid beads. You can do it with however many color of beads. You could do it as a solid, all one color if you wanted. So when I was with this one, I was thinking, you know, tips of ears are usually pink a little bit. So I was like, I wanted a little bit of pink on this one. Then when I went to pick out the colors for this one, I was like looking with pink, with a 12 millimeter pink. And then I found this print and I'm like, nope, we're going with orange. I don't know why I wanted orange ears, but I sure did. So you can choose any colors. And if you notice, these two use the same pattern about the print and then two solids. You could do a print and then like two solids here and a print and then two different solids. You can do whatever you want for that. And like I said, here we've got two different colors of gray with no pattern to it. I just mixed them up and put them together, and you really can't tell that there's two separate different colors unless I get it up really close, and you'll see some of them have a pattern in them and some of them don't. That's the only difference between them. But they're almost the same color. So you can make it a solid if you want. You get to do whatever you want. And we're going to have some of the, for sure we've got 15 millimeter solids and prints we will have on Thursday night's bead sale. The abacus, I've got some of those I was packaging up today. I even had a 12 millimeter that I was packaging up today when we were on the chat. I need to work on getting more of those packaged up for you guys for Thursday night sale with the new colors. We'll see how many I get, but that's the one thing is that if you guys want a certain size or a certain color, certain shape of the beads, you just need to let me know. I didn't plan on doing kits for this one. The kit that I'm going to do for this week, and I asked on the chat live and nobody answered which way they wanted to go. I don't have very many pens right now. So I can make a few of the pens, but I couldn't do a lot of them, but I can do more of the keychains. You guys just need to let me know which way you want to go. I have beads that when you put it together, they make a snowman. And that's the kit that we're going to be bringing. And I'll do that as a video and show you the video out on YouTube. But there are three 15 millimeter size beads that will create the body of the snowman. And then you use, and I cannot remember if it's an abacus or a lentil to make the top hat. And I've got those kits all created. So I will be bringing those on Thursday. But you guys need to let me know. Do you want me to do a few pens and some of the keychains? Are you guys good with that? And we can also sell it separately too. I have enough that I can do it all three ways. There just won't be as many pens available as there could be of keychains and such. And I was thinking about bringing the keychains. I'll bring both of them. I was going to bring the keychains on Thursday also. I just need to get those packaged up. They're in a big bag, and I was going to put them in packages of 5 again and get you guys them in 5 so that you can do, you know, purchase them in that way. So I need to get those ready too. But I have some of the keychains. And then another question I had, I don't know if we'll have time for it on Thursday or not, but does anybody need cord again? You guys need to let me know about cord. I don't know what I have in stock. I need to go downstairs and look. All right. I don't know. Sorry, I'm yawning. I don't know if I will get that in Thursdays or if it will be sometime next week to bring in the cord. But I will look for it and do. You're getting a phone call on the YouTube. So that is what we've got going on. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's tutorial, where I'm just calling this animal faces because it could be a bear, depending on if you picked bear colors. You know, when we were working on and showing this, or when I showed this one, someone said panda. You know, it's just whatever animal you want to think about when you're doing it. I know we talk about that it is a mouse when we see it, but think about this is any type of animal. So that's why I'm calling this one animal face. So we'll do that. All right, everybody. I am going to hop off because I have a lot of packages to get to pack in. So thank you, everybody who's paid your invoices. We will get those out in tomorrow's mail for you. You all have a good night, and we will see you tomorrow. We have a live at 2 p.m., and that is basket sale. And then at 8 p.m., we will have a bead sale. So those are the two sales that we have tomorrow. And they're all both Central Time on TikTok only. So we'll see you guys then. Bye, everybody.